ask John? I haven't found out. I was reading the book, The Beatles.
Oh, the Hunter Davis book.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your father left you and your mother at a very tender age, and you were raised by an aunt.
I was raised by my auntie. My father and my mother split when I was about 4. I spent some time with my mother up till about 4. Then my father split. He was a merchant seaman, you can imagine, and it was 1940s in the war and all that. And I guess she couldn't live without somebody, and he left, and I was brought up by an auntie, and then
he
turned up after I was famous,
after you were famous,
which I wasn't very pleased about.
And you didn't really open the door to him right away.
Because he knew where I was all my life up till I lived in the same house, in the same place. He knew I was living with that auntie for most of my childhood, up till 24 or 5 it was before we made it.
He never visited you?
And I thought it was a bit suspicious that he turned up after I'd made it, But I gave him the benefit of the doubt after he'd put a lot of pressure on me in the press, I opened the front page news is John's dad's washing dishes, and why isn't John looking after him, I said, because he didn't look after me. So I looked after him from the same period he looked after me, about 4 years. Then I said, now you can go out and find your own way too.
Also, they look alike.
He looks like a little one of me, only he's only 5 foot tall. He's 5'1".
What is he doing now, John?
I guess he's retired. He just married a 23-year-old girl, He's had another son, so he's getting on fine.
What you're in for? No.
They're a lot of ravers, those Lennons. Hey,
how old is your father now?
I guess he must be in his 60s. I really don't know, And then when I was 16, I re-established a relationship with my mother for about 4 years. She taught me music. She first of all taught me the banjo, and from that I progressed to guitar. The first song I learned was Ain't That a Shame, an old rock hit, Fats Domino. And then unfortunately she was run over by an off-duty policeman who was drunk at the time. And in spite of all that, I still don't have a hate the pigs attitude or hate cop attitude. I think everybody's human, But it was very hard for me at that time, and I really had a chip on my shoulder, and it still comes out now and then, because it's a strange life to lead. But in general, I've got my own family now. I'm Yoko, and she made up for all that pain.
Interesting that we were talking about your aunt, because this is a very interesting quote.
I know,
May I?
I guessed it.
Did you? I never forgave her for not treating me like a genius or whatever I was when I was a child. Explain
because we used to have she wanted me to be we used to take in students at one time. Her husband died and she was looking after me on her own. She wanted to keep up this semi-detached house and not go down. And so we took students in, and she always wanted me to be a rugby type or a chemist, And I was writing poetry and painting and singing since she had me. And all the time I used to fight and say, look, I'm an artist. Don't bug me with all this maths, and don't try and make me into a chemist or a vet. I can't do it, I have to be. And I used to say, don't you destroy my papers, I'd come home when I was 14 and she'd rooted all my things and thrown all my poetry out. I said, one day I'll be famous and you're going to regret it. But the best quote she ever said was, the guitar's all right for a hobby, John, but you'll never make a living at it. So some fan in America had that framed on steel and sent it to her. She has it in the house I bought her, and she had that looking at her all the time.
You're both so different. You had such different childhoods.
It's incredible.
And what do you think has attracted you to each other?
Because it's incredible. She came from a Japanese upper-middle-class family. Parents were bankers and all that jazz. Very straight. They were trying to get her off with an ambassador when she was about 18. Now's the time. You married the ambassador and we get all settled. I come from a upper working class family in Liverpool, the other end of the world. We met, but our minds were so similar, our ideas were so similar. It was incredible that we could be so alike from different environments. And I don't know what it is, but we're very similar in our heads.
And that,
we look alike too. The mic on? Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
lonely sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people share